think most importantly, it's important that we kind of highlight what a person's moral compass is. How would you like if someone did that to you? One must know what's right and wrong, and one must know when the time to talk is and when the time to not talk is. You know, like, so consciously, if you know what the police does, their thing is to abuse their power. When the police is speaking to you, you would know, okay, I can't speak to you on your level. There are some things that I have to understand, so I can speak. So there's a mixture of knowing when to speak and knowing when not to speak. In regards to anything else, I think it's just time and place. There's a time to speak and there's a time to listen. It's knowing when the time is. And I think that is the genius within a person, knowing when the time to speak is and knowing when the time to not speak is. If you're dealing with strategy, if you've got a strategy on when to speak and when not to speak, genius. Because you've got to be calculated. Do you get what I mean?
You also got to know the people that you're speaking to in order to make the calculation.
100%. So it's time and place and knowing.
There should be groups that teach people, especially people that suffer from anxiety and depression, on how to do these things, because it does have an effect on, because even when I think back on my situation, I remember saying to my cousin, I'm not opening no letters, because it just got to the point where I was so overwhelmed. Every letter I got, I just put them in the bag. I didn't open them.
You know, it's interesting.
I didn't open them, and that was one of the letters from the police for the.
You know, it's interesting though,
foreigners.
and it goes back to where it starts. You know, when these letters are being sent to you, they're not actually for you. They're for your full sense of self. And because you identify with your full sense of self, and you believe it's you, you take it on as you.
Yeah.
But really and truly, that's not to you, because they can't actually identify you, because their system isn't for who you truly are. But once you get lost in it, you take it on as it's you. So it's like, they're not actually physically harming you, but they're going to leave you to harm yourself.
Self-destruct mode.
Self-destruct mode. So you've bought into an idea that has nothing to do with you. Because, if we're speaking about court, right? A letter to go to court is an invite.
Yeah.
You don't actually have to go. But when you buy it into your full sense of self, you feel like, oh, you're writing to me. That's ego. And then you feel like, I have to go. You don't have to go.
But they use the colours, the psychology of it, because they
Red
know
is warning.
red
Yeah.
will sell you into danger.
Bold letters.
Danger. If I don't do this, there's danger.
Yeah.
And that's the little subtle things that this system does, which are interesting. Because in reality, any letters you get, if you respond, all of those things go down. It's like you start to really the way they have fun with you as an entity.
Fun.
They really do have fun, because they're making money out of you on top of the money they've already made off of you. Because they basically, when they're getting debt off you, they're actually getting debt off your trust that the government created without us knowing. Then they charge you again. So that's how they make their money. But it's really interesting.
We have been programmed to be this way, right? So your situation is obviously, that's your situation. But at the same time, what you have to understand is that we're all in the same boat. We all took part in this game blindfolded.
Yeah.
When we started this game, we were blindfolded. We couldn't see anything. And we thought we knew. But we have no clue what this beast is.
Yeah.
So you didn't actually take part in this game willingly.
You didn't.
You was forced into it.
Yeah.
it had nothing to do with you. So the outcome in the end really has nothing to do with you, especially if you're still blindfolded.
Yeah.
With the system, you cannot be
Right,
silent.
there's a difference though, Jay.
But I love personal silence. I love
Yeah.
personal silence.
Right.
Like,
It's such a
like,
fucking paradox.
just-
It's scary.
Yeah.
No, but this is what I mean. So when I asked the question,
Yeah.
silence in being silent within yourself, that's a
oh,
whole
anything
different
external.
realm. But when I say
Can't be
externally,
silent.
I mean it in the sense of,
But
say
then-
for example, you've got
Actually-
people that are reactive, innit? So
Is it-
you know when they say you listen, some people, when they're listening to things or when people are speaking, they hear to respond, not to receive
To hear.
information. I'll be honest, I was one of those people. Yeah, it's something that people bang on. You're like, what do you? Not that I didn't get it, but I'm thinking, well, why do you think I do that?
Yeah.
But then I realised, hold on, even me responding like that is me doing exactly what they're saying. And it's still something, I'll still say it now, I'm still learning it, but I'm way more ahead than where I was when it was first being said to me.
Yeah.
And now I can have conversations, and I know within myself there's times for me to be silent in, it doesn't matter what negativity it feels like you're throwing at me right now, I'm going to remain silent, because if I remain silent, one, I'm going to actually listen to you. I'm going to absorb the information you're giving me differently, because I'm actually going to take on board what you're saying. So even if I don't like it, I don't have to react. I'll just take it on, like we said, everything's a lesson. Cool, that's your opinion. Whether I agree, whether I disagree, whether I take something from it, whether I don't, cool. But people fear the silence. So that's what everyone's, are you okay? Are you
I
listening?
was going to say.
Did I upset
yeah.
you? And they will ask all them questions.
Sometimes
You said something
suppress-
key. Sorry, but you said
Yeah,
something key
go on. Yeah.
earlier on. You said sometimes people fear silence, or they don't want to be silent, or like it's scary. That's the program is working,
Yeah.
because if you think about it, all that there truly is silence.
But we're taught, we're raised in a society where silence is to be feared, because silence means there's action going on that you don't know.
But
Silence.
that's exactly what happened to me.
And that is,
Because I went into myself and I missed the letter because I didn't open the letter, and now they've automatically
but
put me on the bar list.
when people really want to make
Do you
a
know what I'm
notice,
trying to
yeah,
say?
they tell you move in silence, because
That's
then
mad.
there's nothing to expect, which is when you get surprised. So now, if you know, do you know, I'm going to do stuff, and that's not, but then it's the balance, like you said, Jay. It's not about going around and ranting and raving saying, I'm going to do something, either, but it's knowing what to say, when to say it, how to say it.
How you use silence for me
and
is
that's it.
key, because like
It makes me
if someone's going off at you or the system's going off at you in some way, you're not going to be silent, but you're in that moment. You need to be silent to take in what information they're giving you, so you know how to respond.
Because you're missing.
It's all about response. But like,
so true.
yeah, when like for instance, I see it a lot of the time when I see a talker who's really projecting what they're truly, and you're giving them that silence that scares the fuck out of them, because
No,
they're like,
that's
I don't know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
I can't,
Yeah.
because there's certain people
That's
you
what the
cannot
fear is
tell them
then, yeah.
anything, because you know they're not there for you. They're there to work whatever information they can, and that's when silence is powerful, because of that. I'm gonna come back at you when I got all my information.
Yeah.
Such a paradox.
Silence is all that there is, though.
Yeah.
When you really think about it, if we're not speaking, if there's no sound outside, from
Get us into
cars or
space.
vehicles and
That's-
stuff,
silence.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
This is what I'm saying to you. Like, silence is all that there is, and to be scared of what is, it's over for you.
Yeah.
They're planting seeds in you.
The brain
That's
always makes
sprouting.
noise.
Right. No, not even that.
No,
The
no.
ego wants
Yeah,
noise.
the ego always wants to
Yeah,
be,
yeah.
and you can see it when people are sick. They don't know how to be silent with themselves.
The
It's
ego
just-
can't survive without nonsense to feed off of.
Anything.
Coming to think, sorry,
No,
to
no.
cut you. Coming to think about it, like when you're saying that, I'm going back to this being on the stairs when they were asking me for the guy's name. Like a lot of the time during that period, I was actually silent. But so trauma is silence as well.
But
I would say
that's
trauma-
why a lot of people, they say,
Trauma is
why didn't you
silence.
speak up?
Why didn't you speak up?
Why, yeah.
Yeah.
But then the flip to that, so the paradox will be, when you have got people that are traumatized and speak out and shout it out from the rooftops, why you got to shout
Why?
out?
Oh,
Why do you have to share it with
like-
everyone? So it comes back to everything being about balance.
Trauma silence, healing in silence.
Yeah,
That's what happened.
but the people that get
Such
bothered
fun.
by the outwardly or the loud responses to things are generally the people that are fearful of the things. Do you know what I mean? They would prefer you to stay silent, but then they also the ones that do the, oh my god, if I knew, I would have done something. But when I was telling you, you asked me why I was behaving like that. So it's contradictory to what you're saying.
I hope this makes sense, but you know, trauma and pain and stuff that kind of hurts us, right? That's also a bad narrator or a lack of a narrator, a positive one. Someone's doing something to you, they're actually giving you information, they're letting you know something. It might be different because it's not down on paper and you're not reading it, but you are reading them.
Yeah.
And if you're reading them, it's information that needs to be taken on, received in a healthy way, and taken apart in a healthy way. If you're young, you can't really be that. You can't govern it. Your healthy parents are supposed to be there to kind of give you that. But if they're not there, and you're not there to know that, the narrator in your head needs to be able to give you this in a way that helps you. If that's not there, and you go throughout life without that in your head, unfortunately we're in a situation where our people have been split apart in so many ways, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. So we're gonna get traumatic events. These traumatic events are gonna happen. But if that's just how it is, we need to consciously plant a narrator, a healthy narrator in our heads. We have to have that. That's not a conversation. You get what I mean? So ultimately, the plan, the destructive system is going to win. It's going to keep getting wins because, you know,